Taxpayer-funded super woke London theatre The Globe is paying identity-obsessed creatives to rewrite 430-year-old Shakespeare play Titus Andronicus in order to make the characters more racist for a forthcoming all-female production to be staged at the theatre. Because clearly, whilst The Globe cares deeply about racism, they don't seem to care too much about sexist employment policies. The director of the production, Jude Christian, a name that positively screams out white middle-class social justice warrior, has justified the corruption of Shakespeare's play by claiming, "What we've done is show clearly what the words meant in Shakespeare's time." No, you haven't, dear. What you've done is changed the words to suit your own ideological agenda. You've got very little idea what the words truly meant in Shakespeare's time, because that was 430 years ago. All you can do is look at the limited historical sources from the time and speculate as to what life was like back then, the political, religious and cultural landscape, and how people felt about the language they encountered. And let's be really honest with ourselves, shall we? You haven't even done that, have you? Like so many talentless blaggers stealing a living in the UK cultural sector, you're just another race grifter. Race baiting is a multi-million-pound industry in the UK and throughout the Western world. Large numbers of racism-orientated charities have sprung up in the wake of the success of BLM. Crooks and con merchants have seen how easy it was for a collective of neo-Marxist militant scam artists to raise millions of dollars out of stirring up racial division, and they decided they wanted a piece of that pie. The economy corroding equality and diversity industry is now a substantial and obscenely well-paid sector of employment for anyone with no real job skills, a victimhood complex and a complete detachment from reality. The trouble with the race-baiting industry is that it's difficult to keep the money rolling in if you can't find any actual racism to complain about. If you're going to keep paying your mortgage, your kids' school fees, the repayments on your Range Rover, then you've got to invent racism where there is none. You've got to manipulate or alter the language people use to frame them as racist. And what language is easier to manipulate than the language of a man who's been dead for 400 years? These people are cultural poison, and they afflict the UK's arts industries like a vile infestation. Taxpayer funding must be absolutely withdrawn from organisations like the Globe Theatre, who are pushing a divisive, dishonest agenda to line their own pockets. Rescripting Shakespeare is a despicable attempt to rewrite history. It's yet another attack on British heritage and culture. Yet another attack on anyone who happens to have accidentally been born white. Obviously, according to the woke liberal left, because you were born with white skin, you have to atone for the trumped-up colonial crimes of your distant ancestors. And the only dignified way to live your life, if you happen to have been born with white skin, is to carry the guilt and shame of the woke left's imaginary version of history everywhere you go, in everything you do. If you're white, the woke liberal establishment expect you to hate yourself, and if you don't, then they're happy to do it for you. It's easy to see who the real racists are, isn't it? Please do like and subscribe and support my comedy by following the links below this video.